Shut up and sit down.
It's time!
What's the crack, everyone? I'm here with one of the hottest prospects coming out of amateur MMA in Ireland at the minute, Jamie Spidermonkey McCaugherty. How are you, my friend?
All good, buddy. Thanks
Happy
for
days.
having me on.
No problem. Good to have you. Jamie, the first time I seen you, or the first clip I seen of you, was your amateur debut, head kick KO in Clan Wars.
Yeah.
How did that feel, getting that knockout in your amateur debut like that?
Unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. It was the buzz, a proper buzz of it. I've never felt a wee buzz like it. Even my other fights after that was such a buzz. Getting it done in 11 odd seconds was unbelievable. It was surreal, it was a surreal feeling.
I'm sure it was. You've went away from Clan Wars, you've won the Chaos title and you've won the Kuma title as well. How does it feel being back on Clan Wars, the organisation that you had your first 3 amateur fights on, but this time for a super lightweight strap? How does it feel being back on it?
Absolutely can't wait. It's been the best show that I've followed on, best production, best everything about it. So absolutely buzzing to get back out there in front of the Clan Wars supporters.
Class. We just touched on it there now off camera, but you seem to be very, very active.
Yep.
And you were saying that you're not really doing camps and you're just running through fight after one another. Are you doing this because round 1 KOs, you know, it makes it easy? They go from camp to camp. Was that always your plan, or do you think if you're getting more cage time, would you still be having as many fights? Was it always your plan to be this active?
It's always been the plan to be this active, and if I'm not getting damaged, then why would I not? But even if I was taking damage and I healed in time, recovered in time, I would still be taking the same fights. So it's just, the fact that I'm not taking any damage is just backing up the activity that I'm having. But I love doing it anyway, so it's not like I'm going to be taking any 2-year holidays or anything like that when we started. The plan was always to be as fast as possible, to get there as fast as possible, obviously. So I'm working with my own health and my own well-being, so I'm obviously getting in there, taking these guys out and getting out as fast as I can.
And it's more of a lifestyle thing as opposed to doing an 8-week camp fighting. It's more just your lifestyle has evolved around fighting.
I like to go everywhere too and do everything, but everything I do evolves around the training, so. Yeah.
What way does the training work? This here's me more as a fan asking out of curiosity. Do you do strictly MMA sessions? Do you have jiu-jitsu classes and striking? What does a week of training look like for you?
Well, if I'm here, sometimes I go the different gyms and stuff, but so technically no, there's not really no set things of what I'm doing, but if I show up at Nura, they have a set timetable of what they're doing, so I know what I'm getting into if I'm going down there, although sometimes I still have to fucking ask. But I like going other places. I like going down in Nura, and then whenever I'm up in Thailand stuff, I'm obviously doing Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, everything, so I'm not just doing MMA, but MMA is the main one that I'm doing, obviously.
I know what you mean. Your opponent for your next fight, Peter Halpenny, he's coming off 2 back-to-back wins. How much do you know about him? How much tape have you watched?
Yeah, me and Peter go back a bit. Good bit. I've known Peter a while now, so yeah, I can't wait to get in and punch the head on.
Have you trained together before? Or?
No, never trained with him before. Never trained with him.
You've just heard his name?
No, I've known him for a while. We were talking for a while, and I had a bit of an altercation there backstage last Akuma, so we're a bit not on good terms here at the minute.
There's a bit of beef built up for this one.
Yeah.
I've seen you've started having goes at each other on Instagram and stuff. And happy days. Would you say this is the most, as usually as an opponent, just an opponent, and there's not this kind of rivalry going into it? Does it set this aside from the rest of them?
This is probably the first one I went in, and I'm looking to hurt this way.
Nice one. So Clan Wars have obviously changed their rules recently for title fights. They're now 3 times 4-minute rounds, and as well as that, you're allowed knees to the head.
Yeah.
Do you plan on using this? Well, start off with the 3-4 minute rounds. Can you see it going out of the first 4 minutes?
I don't know, but I'm definitely planning to use my knee at some stage of the fight. I can't tell when I'm gonna finish it or. Is
that something that you've actually thought about? Right, I can knee to the head now.
I've been training knees to the head for a good bit now, even before the fight. So I'm not strange to them. I'm buzzing. Can't wait.
I'll be class of it, landed
buzzing, unbelievable.
And that was the one. I seen you put on your Instagram the other day. It was a quote, and it was about everyone fights for a reason. What is your reason for fighting?
I want to prove everyone that has ever done me wrong. Pretty much. That's the reason I get into doing it, and now I'm doing it because I want some money in my bank, and I'm doing it I love doing it as well, like, but those are the main reasons I want to prove everyone that's ever done me wrong.
Yeah. So you were training out in Thailand. You mentioned that to me, and you were saying there that you've met the likes of Chimaev, Armin Sarukian, and Rafael Fizev. What kind of wee tips or what kind of things did you learn off them, and how much time did you spend with them?
Well, Rafael gave me a private lesson, so I did a private lesson and all with him, and I picked up so many things.
In my opinion, he's one of the best kickboxers in the UFC.
I absolutely love him. I think he's one of the best strikers too, which is why I started talking to him, and then eventually said to him, "Take me for a wee session there, would you?" So yeah. So that helped loads, and then working with the Muay Thai trainers and stuff, loads of sweeps and trips and different stuff that I never learned before, and then working with the boxing ones, you're fighting professional boxers. I was picking out the professional ones and going for them and getting good rounds in with them and stuff. So yeah, it was a surreal experience, like unreal. But I can't wait to go back and do it again.
Class. And you're planning to get back at the start of the year. You were mentioning you're going to be sponsored.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get a fight for their Tiger at the end of January, and then I'm going to live there from January till summer and come back twice to defend two of my belts, and then go to a big show next summer. That's the plan. It's always been the plan.
That takes me on to my next question. I was going to tell you to envision the next year, but we'll go a little bit further because you've just touched on what your short-term plans are. 3 years from now, what do you see? You'll obviously see yourself as a pro MMA fighter, but how far do you think you can go? When you envision the next 3 to 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I want to be a world champion, so in the next 3 years, that's what I want to be. Before the next 3 years, to be honest, like, if I'm going as fast as I'm going now, and everything keeps up, then there's no reason I shouldn't. So that's what I want to be. If I want a world championship, a few million in my bank, and I'll be happy. So,
light work. So again, this is me asking as a fan, and it's something that I've always wondered. For someone that doesn't compete in MMA, it's hard to imagine what that feeling's like, getting a round one finish, whether it's a KO, a sub, or even a decision win, jumping on top of the cage, all your friends and family there. What is that feeling like? How can you describe it to a non-fighter?
You can't compare it to nothing, and you've ever done nothing. It's undescribable. Like people say, oh, you like drugs and stuff like that. There's no drug on the planet that can recreate that feeling of sparking someone out in front of 100 odd people you brought up with you. Absolutely no feeling on earth that can recreate that.
That's unreal. And is there a big difference? You've obviously got first round submission wins and a first round KO. Is there a big difference in the feeling you get in a KO in comparison to a sub?
Every fight I've got a wee different feeling of it, to be honest, because the first few fights, to be honest, I wasn't as good, half as good. I didn't know barely anything, so I was just running in and fucking winging stuff. But the last few fights, I've known exactly what I was going to do, and to pull it off exactly the way I was going to do it is just a mad feeling. And
obviously, you manifest these things in your head beforehand. I'm sure you're probably lying in bed at night and you're thinking, you're running the scenarios over time after time in your head. But how confident are you? Deep down, how confident are you that it is going to go as planned?
I am super confident. Every fight, what I've said is going to happen has happened. So I'm super, super confident coming into every single fight. Yeah. And no matter what happens, it's just a fight at the end of the day. Anything can happen. I could walk in there, and even like I said last fight, I felt I could have sparked me out one day, but I've got super confidence in my own ability, and no matter where the fight goes anywhere, I feel like I can handle myself against anyone.
And in terms of your background of training, as you mentioned there, you're not one of these one-dimensional fighters where you maybe come from a strictly jiu-jitsu background or a strictly striking, and you've turned it into MMA. Have you always trained MMA?
Yeah, always MMA. Only started 2.5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So walked into Nero's doors like 2.5 years, 2.5, 3 years ago. So I only started fighting a year and a half ago or something like that. A year and a half, maybe close to 2 years. So yeah.
And did you get so you obviously went, and did you have the intention of fighting straight away? Or?
Whenever I went, yeah, that's why I joined. I did a few, I did a few PTs with her at the start, but I always said them that that's what I wanted to do. And the moment I walked in, I said, I'm going to be winning belts here, like, and I'm doing it a year and a half later. So yeah.
That's crazy. Where am I? 2 seconds. Aye, right. So. This year's for a future video of mine. You obviously mentioned the UFC fighters that you've met before Thailand, because you might be biased and say that then there's guys that's inspired you. But before you went to Thailand, like which UFC fighters have inspired you?
The ones that have pulled off the crazy mad victories. First of all, like Juliana Pena.
Oh yeah.
There's another one, but I can't
That's an
remember.
interesting one.
Yeah, I was the one that made me go, oh, what, I could be doing that. I even know they're women and all. I don't know why. I was just thinking, holy fuck, that was mad. There was another one as well. I can't remember now, but Israel Adesanya and John Jones. So I love John Jones, the way he fights, and I started really getting into it whenever I watched Israel Adesanya fight. Well, Conor McGregor and all too, but like he's nowhere near my height, etc., etc. But Israel Adesanya, the way he fights and stuff, and now more recently MVP Michael Venom Page is fucking sick. So he's absolutely unbelievable. I love watching him. I can watch every fight all day.
I can see the comparison there, the sort of the long range and the blitzing and the distance management and stuff like that there. Right, one final question. It's not really a question. I want you to look down that lens and give a message to Peter Halpenny. What are you going to do to him on Clan Wars 50?
Peter, I am going to absolutely knee the brains clean off you, bro. You better come with every single thing you got. Simple.
Nice one. Jamie, good man. Thank you, bro.